America, we are back, baby. Welcome to another episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides. We got a great show for you tonight, everyone. A lot of different things to talk about. We got one major topic I do want to talk about today, and it is Donald Trump failing America. As someone who used to be a huge Donald Trump supporter, as someone who campaigned for him, someone who voted for him, a lot of this is sometimes hard to admit and hard to come to terms with, but we need to be based in truth. We need to be based in reality. And we cannot keep shilling for a president who is not putting America first. America first, from Donald Trump's perspective, has completely died. I mean, Donald Trump is not putting Americans first in almost any way. And today on the show, we are going to break down all the ways that Donald Trump has not only gone back on his campaign promises, but has fucked over Americans, specifically the young Americans in this country. We have been left behind, raped, robbed, and looted by our own government. And we now need to stand up against it. We need to voice our opinions about our dissatisfaction with the administration and the fact that we have a president who lied to get to where he is. And it really sucks to say, because I really had high hopes for Donald Trump. I mean, you could even go back to my early episodes of the show. And when you do, you would see me saying that this is the golden age of America, that Donald Trump is going to be the most transparent president, that he's going to beat the Obama and the Clinton deportation numbers. None of that seemed to happen. So we're going to go over a lot of different things that Donald Trump has promised, that Donald Trump has failed on, and that Donald Trump has lied to us about. That's going to be the main topic of the show today. I hope you guys enjoy the show. I want to remind everyone to like and smash the follow button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the show. Smash the subscribe button on YouTube. Rate the show 5 stars on Spotify. And leave a comment. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll read the comments at the end of the show. We always do that now. And another thing we're going to do today is there is a little bit of daily news that I do want to talk about, primarily relating to Jeffrey Epstein. But we're going to just tie that into how Donald Trump failed, because that is one of the most colossal failures of Donald Trump's term as president right now. And it really sucks because we have 3 more years of this bullshit to deal with. 3 more years of being told that Americans aren't good enough. 3 more years of being told that the Epstein files are a complete fucking hoax, even when we're getting overwhelming evidence to show that Epstein was intelligence linked to Israel and that Donald Trump could possibly be involved. Donald Trump, the president of no new wars, seems to not be able to keep himself out of all the fucking wars around the world. I mean, there is just so much to go over, so many different things to talk about. So buckle in for the show today, folks. Hope you guys enjoy. I want to start the day off talking about the deportations. I mean, these have been absolutely abysmal. The one thing I will give Donald Trump is he has done a great job about shutting the border down. Very little, if any, border crossings have came through. And that is something that is confirmed. And that is something positive for the nation. But at the same time, it doesn't fix the problem that we know of, only over 10 million illegal immigrants came in over the last 4 years under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And that's that we know of. Low estimates are 10 million, high estimates are 20 million, and there is an estimated about 40 to 50 million illegal immigrants residing in America right now. So why is it that Bill Clinton was able to deport 11 million? A Democrat, Bill Clinton, was able to deport 11 million illegal aliens out of this country, or illegal immigrants out of this country. Obama was able to get, I think it was like 6 million or so, just under 6 million. But Donald Trump, year to date, has got just about 300,000. And the Department of Homeland Security was even caught lying about this. The Department of Homeland Security reported that they had over 2 million deportations just a few months ago. And I remember celebrating this. And then I looked into it further, and I saw that there was zero evidence. They provided no evidence whatsoever to show that they've actually deported anybody, or not that they deported anybody, but that they deported 2 million people. They said there was 1.6 million self-deportations, and we found out that that was a lie as well. The overall number is close to about 300,000, with about a little under 100,000 of that being self-deportations. So the deportation numbers are absolutely abysmal. They are not what they need to be. It is overwhelming the labor market. It is making wages lower for Americans, for you and for me. It is causing so many fucking problems. I mean, if we don't know who's in this nation, we are not a safe nation. We are not a sovereign nation. And these people are voting, they're collecting Social Security, they have fake Social Security numbers, they are collecting SNAP benefits, some of them are even in Section 8 housing. I mean, this is huge problems for everyday Americans who pay taxes, and their tax dollars, whether they like it or not, are funding these illegal immigrants in our country. So Donald Trump has failed us abysmally on that front. He has told us that he will be the president to stand up for American citizens. He will be the one to fight for American citizens. He will be the president to deport more illegal aliens than any other president before him. He can't even touch the Barack Obama numbers. He's not even getting close to the Bill Clinton numbers. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? He's selling us out. He's selling us a bill of lies, and he's expecting us to just eat it. He thinks every one of his old followers is going to be like the Cat Turd Twitter account, where Donald Trump could literally say to Cat Turd, hey, eat this bowl of shit, and he would do it with a smile on his face. There are Trump shills that exist who will not let go of the old MAGA movement, who will not let go of the promises of Donald Trump, but we have to realize what is actually going on, and that Donald Trump turned from a figure who truly stood for American sovereignty and the American people in the beginning to just another politician. Donald Trump in 2016 was completely self-funded, and this is what made him great. He said, I don't need to take money from these billionaires, from these big corporations, from any lobbyists. I am going to self-fund this, and I am going to put Americans first. America first will be our credo, is what he said. Does it seem like Americans are being put first in any way? Does it seem like Donald Trump is actually doing things to help the American people? Or look at your life right now and let me know, is it any better than when Donald Trump got elected? Are your interest rates any better? Is the economy any better? Is the job market any better? No, it doesn't seem like it. The job market shit, the economy shit, credit card debt's at all-time highs, student loan debt and student loan interest are at all-time highs. The debt, the national debt is at an all-time high. Donald Trump campaigned on, let's get the debt down. What the fuck happened to that? The debt has spiked to all-time highs. The One Big Beautiful bill even rose the debt ceiling. Like, what the fuck is the point of a debt ceiling if you keep raising it? It's not a ceiling at that point. The ceiling you cannot break through like that. Donald Trump is systematically fucking over Americans, everyday Americans, specifically the young ones. Millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha are getting fucked the worst. This is a huge problem. We're going to break down all this stuff tonight. Yeah, the deportation numbers have been so fucking bad. We see the rampant crime problems with illegal aliens, and it's not to say that every single one of them is committing violent crimes, but they all did commit a crime. They all did break into our nation illegally and should be deported. And Donald Trump went from saying, we're going to deport them all when he was on the campaign trail to a little bit after him getting elected saying, maybe we won't deport the hotel staff. Maybe we won't deport the landscapers and the farmers. We might need those guys. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious, Donald Trump? There was a good example of this, is of a meat packing plant that had a bunch of illegal immigrants. There was an ICE raid on it. Pretty much their entire staff got rounded up and deported. And then the very next day, there's a line around the block of Americans waiting to take those jobs. And they want to say, no, Americans won't work those jobs. They are wrong about that. Americans will work those jobs if they are paid an American wage, and that is what they need to realize. They are not paying American wages at these companies because they have gotten so used to the illegal labor that they're getting and being able to overwork and abuse and use these illegal aliens, because that's what's happening. They're being exploited. It's not like they're getting good work conditions, good pay, or anything like that. They're honestly getting treated like shit, but they do it because it's better than being in their home third world shit nation. But we need to put Americans first, pay American wages. Sorry about that. Pay American wages. We need to do everything we can to support the American economy, the American dollar, and people born in this country over people imported into this nation. H-1Bs are another massive thing we're going to talk about, and that's the main reason I'm doing this show like this today. Instead of just doing a daily news show like I usually do, I'm talking about the colossal failure of Donald Trump, and it started because yesterday I saw a clip of Donald Trump in an interview with Laura Ingraham at Fox News, where she asked him, isn't there talent here in America? Why do you have to bring in a bunch of H-1Bs? Because it's just going to flood the labor market, how we've seen, and lower American wages. And then he goes, we don't really have the talent here. You're telling me that in America we don't have the talent to fill these positions? Go fuck yourself. I still believe in America even if Donald Trump doesn't. It is so fucking sad to see I'm not going to say one of the best presidents, but someone who I thought would be one of the best presidents turn out to be such a fucking scumbag in a lot of ways. This guy has sold us a bill of lies, and he did it so he could get elected, so he can get more power, so they can make more money on these rug pull crypto scams. Like, it's a fucking joke what's happening to this country right now. We are being raped, robbed, and looted in real time. But yeah, it really all starts with the deportation numbers just being an absolute lie. That's one of the worst things. And then when you go into the H-1Bs, Donald Trump said that we need 600,000 Chinese spies to come into this country to be successful. And then Howard Lutnick just a day later was like, yeah, no, we will literally be fucked if we don't have them. Like, who the fuck are you, Howard Lutnick? Who the fuck are you, Donald Trump, to tell us that we need to import 600,000 Chinese students into this country who will then take jobs in America over American-born citizens? That's 600,000 kids, American-born kids, who won't get a position in the college of their choosing. That's 600,000 American kids who won't get the job of their choosing because they're importing people from another nation to take them from him. Donald Trump said he was this excellent negotiator who could negotiate trade deals with almost any nation. But Donald Trump can't seem to get a trade deal done with China without accepting hundreds of thousands of Chinese spies and immigrants, and they are all spies. There's a law in China that says that any Chinese national traveling outside the country, when they return to China, if they're asked by a government official what they saw, if they had to report on anything, they are required by law in their country to report that to the government. So any Chinese individual in this nation who is from China is required by law to report to the Chinese government anything they see and report on anything the Chinese government asks them to. That is a spy. I mean, if I was doing that in China, they would cut off my fucking head or hands. It is absurd that right now in America, we have Donald Trump supporting this, and not only supporting it, but he is saying to Americans that you are not good enough. He is saying right to your face, you are not good enough. You're not good enough for the jobs. You're not good enough for the colleges. We need to bring in these foreigners to replace you. That is what Donald Trump is saying, and I don't believe that. I still believe that Americans can do the work. Americans are smart enough to get into these institutions and hold these institutions up. And if the institutions can't survive without 600,000 Chinese spies coming into the country, let them fucking fail. Like, how is that so hard to comprehend? If the colleges cannot survive without a mass influx of foreign students, let them fucking die out. Like, what the fuck are we doing in this country that the government is bailing out every major institution in one way or another, but when we ask them, hey, like, what about the student loan crisis and the debt and the credit card debt and all these problems that Gen Z is facing, a lot of it due to COVID things caused by Trump's administration and Biden's administration. But no, that's too much. They can't bail us out there. They can bail out the PPP loans. They can bail out the banks. They can bail out the airlines. They can bail out the colleges. But no, fuck you to the American people. Fuck you. That's what they say. That's literally what they're saying to us right now. And that is the message that I'm receiving, and I feel like you guys are most likely receiving too. I'm so disappointed, not only in myself for believing the lies, I'm so disappointed in Donald Trump, his entire administration, for trying to carry on the lies. We have been calling them out in real time on X, on social media, in the media, all over, and still they are feeding us these lies like we are the ones pushing propaganda. We can see with our own eyes that the economy is shit, but Donald Trump the other day is like, no, the economy is doing just fine, and if you're saying it's bad, you're lying. You're a leftist. You're a propaganda artist. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The economy is dog shit. Go try and get a health insurance premium. Try and get car insurance. Try and buy a fucking car right now. It is all so expensive. Credit card debt is through the fucking roof. 40% of Gen Z is borrowing money from their parents right now. We are the first generation to have it worse off than our parents. First generation to have it worse off than any generation before us. And then they question, they're like, What's making Gen Z so religious? It's because we have nothing else to turn to. We have been raped, robbed, and looted in real time, and Christ is king, and he is really the only answer at this point. Having a relationship with God and having faith in something is the only thing keeping millions of people alive, and from drug use, and from alcoholism, and from straight depression. People are depressed over this. People are going on with their lives miserably. And I'm not saying it's everybody. Obviously, there are exceptions to the rule. There are Gen Z people who are successful. There are millennials who are successful. And there will be Gen Alpha people who are successful. But the majority of people are struggling right now, and they fail to acknowledge it. And they also extremely fail to acknowledge what's happening to straight, white, Christian men in this nation. If you're not black, gay, or Jewish, Indian, gay, or Jewish, whatever race you want to put there, gay or Jewish, it is very hard to get a fucking job in America. It is very hard to move up in the world in America. It's harder to get loans in America because of that. It is fucking insane what we're dealing with. And Donald Trump promised to be a president who stood up for people like us. He promised to be a president to put America first, to put Americans first, the people who built this fucking nation. But no, we come last in his book. He does not give a shit about us. He is putting 600,000 Chinese immigrants and spies over you. Over me, over all of us. And that's what's happening right now. It is one of the biggest problems we're facing in this nation, the great replacement of our society, that we thought Donald Trump would be the guy to fix it. We thought Donald Trump would be the man who is like, you know what? This is a majority white country founded by white Christians, and we should keep it that way if we want to uphold the laws and the Constitution, considering the fact that the majority of immigrants who come into this nation do not support the Constitution. They don't support free speech. They don't support the religious rights. They don't support the Second Amendment, and that is a huge problem. Only 27% of the immigrants who come into this nation actually support these things, actually support keeping the laws the way they are. We are going to be replaced in our society sooner than later. I think it's like 10 to 15 years, they estimate that white people will not be the majority in America anymore. And when that happens, you are going to start seeing the laws change faster than you ever have. We're going to turn more into a socialist nation and closer to a third world nation. This multiculturalism bullshit is fake. It's not fake like it's not happening. I'm just saying like what they're trying to push is not reality. It's not beneficial to America. If we don't maintain the order of this country, the structure of this country, what's kept this country intact for hundreds of years, we will fall. We will be fucked. Most empires only last like 250 years, and that's where we're at right now. We're at the 250-year point, and we are seeing the collapse in real time. We are seeing the American empire fall. We are seeing other countries succeed and thrive. Like countries who are in war, countries who are our enemies essentially, are doing better than us in a lot of ways. You don't see China dealing with the race problems that we're dealing with. You don't see Russia dealing with these problems that we're dealing with. And when I say race problems, I mean the fact that we have percentages of the population who refuse to fix themselves, who refuse to better themselves no matter how much money we throw their way. Reparations, whatever the fuck you want to call it. When we signed the Civil Rights Act into law, we have started giving the black community billions of dollars a year, and it has failed. They have become so dependent on the government, so dependent on our tax dollars to fund their lifestyle, and they don't fix anything. They get their housing for free, their food for free, pretty much everything for free under our taxpayer dollars, and they use it as an excuse to not work, to get type 2 diabetes, eating constantly. Like, people on food stamps should not be getting type 2 diabetes. Nobody really should, but people on food stamps should be skinny as shit. I want my sorry about that. I've had something in my throat all day. People on food stamps should be skinny as shit. Like, I literally want them to have that Jesus on the cross figure. I want them to be borderline anorexic. And I'm not saying I want them to struggle with eating disorders. I'm saying I do not want fat people collecting food stamps and SNAP. That is fucking insane. If you were able to get fat off my tax dollars, you are eating too much, you are wasting too much of my money, and you are not beneficial to American society. What you are is a leech. You need to only, like, if you take food stamps, if you take Section 8, there should be regulations to make these things only a few months at a time or a few weeks at a time. Most people should not be on food stamps for a year or 6 months even, maybe 2 to 3 months max until they can get a new job and get on their feet. But it's bullshit, the loopholes and the scams that are in this industry that are costing us billions of fucking dollars a year when we're a country that's not succeeding. We're a country that's $38 trillion in debt and growing. It's a huge problem. I'm going to take a sip of water because my fucking throat, I've had something in my throat all day. It's killing me. But yeah, the immigration, the H-1Bs, the illegal immigration, it's all a massive failure by Donald Trump. Donald Trump has not succeeded on any front besides closing the border down. That's the one thing I'll give him. A very huge win for America with that. But does closing the border down justify him not deporting the rest of the illegals in here? He's deported about 300,000, like I've said, and there is possibly 20 million that came in just the last 4 years, and upwards of 50 million total. These numbers are not good. We are being fucked. We are being replaced, and they are not caring because Donald Trump has sided with the corporations over the people. Like I said, in Donald Trump's first term, he took zero money from lobbyists. Donald Trump's second term, he took millions, hundreds of millions of dollars from lobbyists, from donors. He cozied up with all the billionaires. We literally saw it at his inauguration. You saw people like Bezos, Zuckerberg, people who never aligned with Donald Trump in the past, sitting right next to him, laughing at all his jokes like sluts. It's fucking insane that people can't see this by now, and I feel ashamed for not seeing it earlier. I have been calling this out for months now, but still, for the first few months of Donald Trump's administration, I was one of the people who was pushing so fucking hard. Like, if you guys don't believe he's transparent, you're an idiot. And I was the fucking idiot. I was the shill. I was the retard. And admitting that takes courage. And I'm not trying to hype myself up. I'm just saying if you haven't admitted it yourself, it is fucking time to admit it, that Donald Trump has sold you out and sold me out and sold the rest of Americans out. He has sold us out for foreigners. He sold us out for lobbyists. He sold us out for Israel. He has sold us out for wars. He has sold us out for money. That's what it is. Donald Trump has become a slut for money. Donald Trump, I thought because he was a businessman would be a good president. I was like, the country kind of operates like a business, so it would be good to have a successful businessman. But Donald Trump is treating every single thing like it's a business decision. Donald Trump is doing these trade wars like they're business decisions, and he is saying that, oh yeah, I'll make some money. We'll make a little bit of extra money if we do this, even if it's replacing Americans. We'll make some money in the trade war with China if we bring in 600,000 Chinese spies, even if all Americans despise it. You even see people on the regular conservative right, like Jack Posobiec and like people like that who are complete shills, who are saying like, Don, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck is up with this? We are saying end the H-1B scam, not bring in hundreds of thousands more of them. And then not only that, Kristi Noem today, the Department of Homeland Security bitch, and the reason I call her a bitch is because of this fucking statement. She literally said today, more immigrants legal are coming into this country than ever. And we are giving them green cards. We are giving them diploma. Like, what the fuck? Did we ask for more immigrants? No. We said shut the fucking country down. Stop with the illegal immigration, which you did. Thank you. Now stop with the legal immigration because it is too fucking much. This is insane that, like, if I disagreed with Charlie Kirk on a lot, but if Charlie Kirk was still alive today, he would be the number one person standing against this and by my side on this subject, because this is bullshit what we're facing. Charlie Kirk was one of the people who was like, yeah, we need at least a 10-year ban on legal immigration so we can get this shit in order in this country. Because right now, it is all out of fucking whack. Americans are not getting paid what they deserve. Stagflation is fucked. The economy's fucked. The job market's fucked. Everything economically in this country is down. It's not where it should be. It's not the golden age of America like they want to say. We're getting pissed on. It's more like a golden shower than a golden age. We are getting pissed on and told it's rain. That's what's happening. Donald Trump thinks we're all fucking idiots. He thinks we will all just keep going along with this because his MAGA movement had so much power and because he got shot in the ear, and now we have to give him our undying support, write a blank check of support to this guy. No. Fuck that. That was my opinion in the past, and it was stupid and regrettable. But my opinions and the belief I have now is Donald Trump does not have America's best interests in mind. And it's not to say he can't do anything good. Donald Trump has done some things we agree with. Recently, I agree with his decision to, if he is going to take in immigrants, at least take in high IQ European, not fat immigrants. That's not a bad decision. that it's not the worst decision, but I don't think we should still be bringing them in for the most part. I don't think we should be bringing in any immigrants into this country. We need to put American-born citizens over everything else. And if you are not on board with that, let me ask you, why? As an American-born citizen, why are you not on board with the fact that we should be supporting American citizens over everything else? You know a lot of people, I'm sure the same way I do, who got out of college, young white men, who were not able to get jobs in their fields, who were not able to move up in their companies because, again, they weren't gay, black, or Jewish, or gay, Indian, or Jewish, or whatever variation of it. That's what's happening in our society. I've seen it happen with my own eyes. I've seen kids who are incredibly smart, who graduated with 4.0 GPAs, who graduated from top elite universities in this school, who are getting fucked in this nation because of their race, because of their gender, because of their religion, because of a lot of factors that Donald Trump refuses to acknowledge and fix. They say, oh, we shouldn't play identity politics, but that's a real fucking thing. There are real problems in this country that you are refusing to acknowledge. And Kristi Noem, your head of Department of Homeland Security, is like, yeah, we are bringing in more immigrants than ever. Like, that's a thing to celebrate. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bitch? That is not a thing to celebrate. That is a thing that pisses me off and pisses off millions of more Americans, because what they are not realizing, and Nick Fuentes said it today, and it's very true, MAGA is dead. The idea of MAGA is dead. It is now America first, bitch. America fucking first. Nothing else. We will accept nothing less than sovereignty. We will accept nothing less than true America first policies that put the citizens over everything else. Donald Trump has basically become a globalist. Like, what the fuck is going on that in our own country that we were born in, that we don't deserve to live in our hometowns, according to Ben Shapiro, that we need to work harder, according to everyone is saying that Gen Z doesn't want to work, Gen Z doesn't want to do it. It's like, no, we don't want to get paid slave wages for shit to never be able to buy a house. Here's the difference. When my grandpa worked as a fucking waiter coming out of the army, he was at least able to buy a house off his salary. And I'm not saying every waiter should be able to afford a house off a waiter's salary, but we have a problem in America when people who work legit 9-to-5 jobs cannot even buy a fucking home because it is unaffordable. My grandparents bought their first house for like $24,000. $24,000. The average price of a shit home in America right now is like $170-something thousand. That is not attainable for most people. Most people are so far in the hole from their college student loan debt, so far in the hole trying to pay their medical premiums. Not just their insurance premiums, their car insurance, every fucking bill. Like, everything is so fucking expensive right now, and they are not acknowledging or refusing to do anything about it. It's a huge problem, and we really have to stand up against this. We really have to make it known how dissatisfied we are with the administration, and that the Republicans will not have our support in 2026 or 2028 if this does not get fixed. And I'm not saying vote Democrat. Fuck no, I am not saying that. The Democrats literally want to fucking kill us. And it's not to say every one of them, but every single Democrat who celebrated Charlie Kirk's death would celebrate if I was killed, would celebrate if Nick Fuentes was killed, or any of the people on the America First side were killed. We cannot vote Democrat because when they get into power, they will start censorship again. They will start bringing in illegal and legal immigrants out the ass. And it's like, we're already getting the legal immigrants, but they will bring in the illegal ones too. And we cannot have that. That is a huge issue. They are pandering to a base that isn't even American. And Donald Trump is starting to do the same. Donald Trump is starting to act like a major fucking pussy. And there's no better way to describe it than he is an absolute spineless coward and a pussy right now, sitting in the in the White House seat. It is fucking insane. Sorry, I'm going off. My throat's fucking hurting. There's something going around right now. I've had literally, I don't know what the fuck it is. I've just had this little scratch in the back of my throat. It's fucking killing me. So I'm taking just a quick pause with that. But I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. Hope you're enjoying my rant. But I really think if Charlie Kirk was alive, things would be a lot different. Charlie Kirk was in Donald Trump's ear every day. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. He was a major shield for Israel. We all know that. I'm not going to speak negatively about Charlie Kirk for the most part, though, because, again, I don't want to speak ill of the dead and a man I respected, even though I disagreed with him on a lot of stuff. I did heavily respect the man. You have to. I mean, the guy had fucking balls. He went to Oxford and debated them all without a college degree. It's fucking the balls on that guy. I mean, that's awesome. But Charlie Kirk, let's go into that part of Donald Trump right now. Charlie Kirk was assassinated brutally in front of thousands of people, and not just thousands of people in person. He was assassinated in front of millions online in a brutal, graphic way. I mean, again, people were shook over the JFK assassination. Imagine how we felt seeing it in fucking 4K up close. That was our JFK. He would have been president one day, most likely. It seems like they were grooming him to be the president. Charlie Kirk was in Donald Trump's ear every fucking day. He was talking to him about policy. He was talking to him about what the youth wanted. And that's what Donald Trump does not have now. Donald Trump had a direct voice, like a middleman to the youth, and it was Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk would go to college campuses, go to high schools. He had TPUSA chapters all over the country, in high schools, in colleges, in towns, wherever the fuck. And Donald Trump does not have that. And not only did Donald Trump just lose that, when he lost Charlie Kirk, the very next day when he was being interviewed on the White House lawn, they said, Charlie Kirk was shot. How are you recovering from it? Oh, I think I'm doing all right, but do you guys see over there what they're doing with the ballroom construction? Like, what the fuck was that about? Did Donald Trump even give a shit? Did anyone in the government seem to actually fucking care about what was happening? Or was it just another thing that happened in their daily life? Like, it's so fucking insane. The lack of giving a shit from the Donald Trump administration. The fact that they not only lied to us constantly, they not only paraded us around for their campaign to only fuck us over after he got elected, but then after, the man who helped him get elected probably put millions of his own dollars, or maybe hundreds of thousands of his own dollars, into trying to get Donald Trump elected, trying to push for policies for Donald Trump. When that man was assassinated, someone Donald Trump claimed to be a friend, Donald Trump didn't seem to give a shit at all, which was one of the biggest failures. And it's not a policy failure. Not everything has to be a policy failure, but it was a failure to show that you actually give a shit about what Americans are feeling. It shook me to my core seeing Charlie Kirk get shot. I took off a day from the show. The next day after that, I came on and I gave a very sad monologue about it. I mean, you guys could go back and watch it. You see my energy on the show. You see what I'm normally like on the show if you watch it, or if you're just tuning in for the first time today. But you could see in that moment how sad I was. You could hear it in my voice. You could see it in my eyes, in my face. It was terrible. It was devastating. I watched a man who is one of the reasons that I decided to get into politics in the first place get shot in the fucking neck, and people celebrated it, and our president did not seem to give a fuck about it. It's so fucking insane what Donald Trump has done, the way he has failed Americans, the way he has systematically fucked us and shown zero empathy for the people who showed him the most support. Charlie Kirk got shot. He didn't give a shit. Americans who voted for him are still standing up for him and saying, Donald, like, this is what we voted for you to do. And he's like, fuck you guys, we're going to bring in a bunch of immigrants because I can't win a trade war with China without it, and I need to look good. I need to make it look like I actually won this trade war in the long term. Like, fuck you. You are losing your support in real time. You're losing everyone who actually gave you all their support. I went to bat for this guy so many times and made myself look like an idiot over it. And I feel so fucking stupid over it, but we can't let that hold us back. We have to be able to move forward and look forward and think that even if we're getting fucked, we need to make it better for the future generations who haven't even been born yet, or even Gen Alpha, who has been born but hasn't made it to the point in society where we're at, where we're out of college now, and we're now dealing with the realities of what this administration is doing. And it's not to say they don't affect the younger generation. It still does. But we have to be able to acknowledge that Gen Z is getting the worst of this right now. Gen Z literally got out of college to a world that doesn't give a shit about them if they're white Christian men. And not just them, it applies to a lot of other people, but specifically to white Christian men. We are getting systematically fucked. Another big problem Donald Trump has going on right now is these Epstein things. And I want to talk about this Epstein thing. Actually, let's talk about his wars and then we'll move into Epstein because I think it will tie in better that way, in my opinion. But Donald Trump, it was the president who was like, no new wars. On day one, I'm going to end the Israel war. On day one, I am going to end the Russia-Ukraine war. On day one, I am going to end all wars and we will be a peaceful world. Obviously, we knew day one it most likely wouldn't happen, but it took Donald Trump 10 months to get a peace deal signed between Israel and Palestine. And still, to this day, Israel is violating the ceasefire agreement. Over 100 different times, they have violated this agreement. Just the other night, they were bombing in Gaza City. They have destroyed over 1,500 buildings in Gaza post-ceasefire. Post-ceasefire, they have destroyed over 1,500 buildings. They have destroyed over 90% of the buildings in Gaza. There's almost nothing left there, and the United States tax dollars are going to have to help rebuild that. That is so fucked up. Donald Trump also said, we're sending way too much money over to Ukraine. I remember in the debates, he was like, yeah, I'm not going to fucking do that. Americans don't want that happening. We were shitting on Kamala and we were shitting on Joe Biden when they were sending millions and billions of dollars over to Ukraine to fight against Russia in a war that they realistically would never win. But Donald Trump has continued sending it, and it's so fucking ridiculous. You hear like I've heard boomers and just really fucking old people who watch Fox News all day who are like, yeah, but now we're giving it as a loan. First of all, it's always been loans, you fucking idiot. Second of all, it still doesn't help America. It does not help America to send money overseas when we are in fucking debt and we have generations struggling. Think about if we took all the foreign aid we sent to Egypt, we sent to Israel, we've sent to Ukraine, we've given subsidies to Canada and Mexico, all of South America and Africa. Think if we put that money towards helping Gen Z, towards helping millennials, towards helping Gen Alpha, or helping all Americans for that matter. I mean, we would be a much better country if our government actually gave a shit about the American people. But no, our politicians don't care about the American people because they are sluts. And when I say they are sluts, I mean they will take donor money from their rich donors, whoever they are, and they will do what they say. Not what the people who voted them in want. They will do what the donors want. The people don't run the government anymore. The money runs the government. The lobbyists run the government. The corporations run the government. Foreign nations run our government. And that is a huge problem. We cannot have a country that is not run by the people. That is what our entire country was founded on. That the government would be representatives of the people, of the constituents of that nation, state, territory, whatever the fuck you want to say. But no, we have a country that literally, they are sluts for the lobbyists. They are sluts for the foreign nations. They are sluts for the corporations. Microsoft wants this to happen? No problem. Amazon wants this to happen? No fucking problem. We'll do it right now for you. Bezos, you want your balls tickled while you're at it? That's what our government's doing. Bibi Netanyahu commits countless war crimes, and it's like, hey, why don't we pardon this guy? Like, what the fuck is that about? What the fuck is going on when Donald Trump said no new wars, but then he bombs Iran against American intelligence? Tulsi Gabbard testified in front of the United States Congress saying, no, they are not close to a nuclear weapon. And then Israeli intelligence is like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Yes, they are. And what happens next? We put in bunker buster bombs to bomb Fordo, Natanz, and their nuclear facilities that are underground in mountains. It is fucking insane that we are listening to Israeli intelligence over American, and Donald Trump claims to be an America First president. What the fuck is going on in this country when we can't even have a politician tell us the truth? And it's not like that's a crazy thing to say because we know politicians have always lied, but Donald Trump was supposed to be different. Donald Trump was supposed to be the politician who was for the American people because he was already rich. He didn't need the lobbying money. But then he's decided in his 2024 election, he's like, you know what? I'm going to take millions of fucking dollars from these guys and I'm going to rape you all. And that's what he's done. He has systematically raped, robbed, and looted Americans of their sovereignty, of their dignity, of their financial freedoms. It is so fucked up what is going on in America right now. And the fact that the media is still shilling for it and not calling it out is big. It is a massive problem. And if we don't have people like me or Nick Fuentes or Dave Smith or whoever the fuck calling it out, nobody would be. We need people to stand up for America, stand up for sovereignty, stand up for you, me, our families, and the constituents of this nation who voted those people into place. We voted for Donald Trump. We voted for our representatives in Congress, in House and Senate, and all these things. But they are not working for us. They are working for the lobbyists. They're not working for the people anymore. And we need to wake up to that. We need to look into these elections in the future, and we need to say, is this person taking money? Who are they taking money from? What are they going to be loyal to? Because that is so fucking important, and people have ignored that in the past. But now that people are waking up to APEC a little, they're waking up to foreign lobbyists who aren't registered under FARA, they're waking up to a lot of the corrupt practices within government because of the social media age we're in. Hopefully things start to change a little bit. And maybe I'm a little optimistic on that. Maybe it's going to take some more time. But I think that Gen Z is smart enough that we can look at the problems. We can see them in real time because Gen Z has been the generation to call this bullshit out. You don't see boomers calling this out. You rarely see Gen X calling this out. You rarely even see millennials, although you do see some, but you rarely see millennials calling this out. It's Gen Z that is calling this out. It is Gen Alpha even, the fucking kids who are calling this out over everyone else. Anybody who's a fucking boomer should be ashamed of themselves if they have yet to call this shit out. If they have yet to say that, no, I don't just write a blank check of support to the Republican Party. Like, what the fuck is that? These blank checks of support people are writing. You cannot just say, I support this establishment no matter what they do or how much they fuck me over, because who is that benefiting? It's not benefiting Americans. It is benefiting the GOP. It is benefiting the corporations who give them money, the Israel lobby who pours money into the neocons in the GOP like Ted fucking Cruz, who's not even a real American. Ted Cruz was not born in this country, yet he wants to criticize people like me? Go fuck yourself. I am more American than you. No matter what you do, Ted Cruz, you will never be as American as people like me because I was fucking born here. I am a Native American, and I refuse to accept the bullshit that we're being told. I refuse to accept the slander by people like Ted Cruz, who have the fucking balls, as not even an American-born citizen, to say it is in America's best interest to write a blank check of support to a country like Israel, or to go push regime change in Iran, or right now we're even on the brink of a regime change in Venezuela. Like, what happened to no new wars? What happened to sovereignty? What the fuck was all that about? Was it all lies? Was it all bullshit? Obviously. I'm so fucking mad about this. And then the support to Israel is where we tie it into the Epstein stuff, because it is very clear Israel has something on Donald Trump. It is very clear by the statements from Bibi Netanyahu and from Donald Trump himself. Donald Trump says we're the best friends to Israel that they've ever had. Bibi Netanyahu says Donald Trump is the greatest friend to Israel we've ever had. Donald Trump takes $100 million from Miriam Adelson, and then he says that Miriam Adelson is Israel first. And then what does he do when it comes to Thomas Massie, one of the Republicans in Congress who is trying to get the Epstein files released? He pushes very hard to get the Epstein files released against Trump's wishes, which is odd. Like, Trump literally campaigned on the idea of, we're going to be transparent. We're going to release the Epstein files. They did the Epstein files phase 1 at the White House, which was all a fucking sham. Pam Bondi was like, they're sitting on my desk. Okay, bitch, where are they? We're still fucking waiting. And then Thomas Massie creates a bill to push the release of the Epstein files in their entirety. And what does Donald Trump do? Donald Trump goes to Miriam Adelson and says, hey, give me $20 million so we can primary this fucking guy. I don't like what he's doing. It's going to make me look guilty. It's going to make you look guilty because you support Israel. It's going to make Israel as a country look guilty. I promise you this, if the Epstein files in their entirety got released, Israel would be so fucking guilty in them because they financed and ran him. It was so clear he was Mossad intelligence. It was so clear that it was an intelligence operation to get political blackmail on U.S. politicians and world politicians and billionaires and elites to do their bidding for them. I mean, what's the best way to get a politician in your pocket? Tell him he's fucking an 18-year-old while he's fucking a 16-year-old and get it on video and then slide it right across the desk like, you're fucked. You're not doing what we say, or we're going to release these pictures to the public. That's literally an old Jewish mafia trick, and the Italian mafia did it as well, but it started with the Jewish mafia, the people who literally helped form Mossad in Israel and helped fund weapons to Israel and money to Israel in their formation, the people who literally were so corrupt in this nation, who stole our nukes from us. But yeah, Donald Trump right now is trying to primary Thomas Massie over trying to release the Epstein information. Like, what the fuck is that? What happened to Donald Trump in his campaign saying, we're going to release the files, we're going to release everything, we're going to be the most transparent government to ever exist? Is it transparent to say that the Epstein files are now a Democratic hoax? But wait, I'm actually an informant in the case. That's why I haven't spoken. Like, go fuck yourself. If you were an informant in the case, you would have said it the day he fucking died, under your watch. Donald Trump was president when Jeffrey Epstein was murdered, or I don't put when he was when he committed suicide in fucking jail. We all know he was murdered though. There's overwhelming evidence. Even the top corner in the nation was like, yeah, the way his neck bones broke, that's not what you get from hanging yourself. That's what you get from strangulation. They killed this fucking guy. And again, I'm not complaining that Epstein's dead. The only part I'm complaining about is the fact that we cannot get transparency on it even after he's dead. We have people pulling the strings for Jeffrey Epstein after he's dead. And it's Donald Trump who's helping do it. We even have Ghislaine Maxwell who's constantly saying, yeah, I think I'm going to get a pardon soon. If that fucking happens, holy shit, I will go fucking bananas if Ghislaine Maxwell gets a fucking pardon. The pedophile Ghislaine Maxwell, the rapist, the Jeffrey Epstein accomplice gets a pardon. We already know she's been moved to this cushy 5-star fucking prison in Texas where she's getting 5-star hotel service. No cameras allowed there either. Isn't that fucking weird? It's so crazy what's going on. It's so crazy that we have a president who campaigned on one thing and then is trying to remove a sitting congressman because he wants to fulfill Donald Trump's campaign promises. You should be celebrating Thomas Massie, but the reason he is not is because Donald Trump might be guilty in them. And even if he's not guilty of raping a child, what he is guilty of is knowing it and not talking about it. We got information just today from Jeffrey Epstein's estate that showed, and they're all over X, that showed that Donald Trump knew about Epstein's crimes. He knew about Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes. And we kind of knew this because we knew Donald Trump kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago there. And he said it was because he was being a creep. But if you knew that, why the fuck didn't you work with the FBI? Why the fuck didn't you work with law enforcement or work with some agency to say, like, this guy's guilty. We need to look into this. Kids are getting raped. God's children are not for sale. But no, he didn't do that. He did not do that at all. We literally had Kash Patel burying the Epstein files on the Joe Rogan podcast saying, no, it's most likely that he did kill himself. Fuck you, Kash Patel. And Kash Patel's girlfriend, too, is now suing people over free speech. That fucking cunt is suing people over free speech. This is problems we're dealing with. America is being raped, robbed, and looted of our rights, our dignity, and freedom. We cannot have a free nation, a sovereign nation, a nation that holds any integrity if our own government is lying right to the American people about the biggest political scandal we've ever witnessed. The rape of thousands of children, the trafficking of thousands of innocent children, God's children, who were taken away from their families, trafficked around the world for billionaires, politicians, and elites to rape on an island and in mansions. And they're celebrating this? Maybe they're not celebrating it openly, but they're celebrating the fact that they got the fuck away with it. That nobody is getting charged. The only person rotting in jail for the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein is Ghislaine Maxwell. Why isn't anybody else in jail? Why isn't Prince, whoever the fuck in jail? Why isn't the JP Morgan guy who was helping Jeffrey Epstein in jail? Why isn't Les Wexner in jail? Why aren't any of the people from Bear Stearns who promoted him from a junior assistant to a senior fucking partner within 3 years in jail? Why aren't the people at the Dalton School who literally said that he got fired for inappropriately having a relationship with a 16-year-old? Why aren't any of the people who knew about that in jail? Why is nobody in jail for the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein besides for Ghislaine Maxwell? And it's not me saying she should get out. It's saying we need to arrest hundreds of more people. There should be so many people in jail or it's facing death sentences for this. But no, we have a country that is protecting them. We have a president who is protecting them. We have an FBI who is protecting them. That is a problem. We have a government, we have a law enforcement agency who is saying, fuck you to the American people and saying to the pedophiles, we got your back. You guys gave us enough money. You guys helped us out. We got your back. Mira Matelson gave you $100 million to bomb Iran, bury the Epstein files, and protect Israel at all costs. And it is so fucking clear this is tied to Israel. We're not going to talk a ton about Israel on this show, but you guys all know the connections between Israel, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Robert Maxwell, her father, a literal ex-Mossad agent. Jeffrey Epstein's best friend was Ehud Barak, the former prime minister of Israel and head of Mossad. Jeffrey Epstein was tied to Carbine 911 with Peter Thiel, which was an Israeli spy firm, spying on Americans with the Patriot Act. And you guys don't question this, and that message right there, when I say you guys don't question this, is more directed to the people who are still shills for Israel. It's like, what the fuck is tying you to Israel? If you're an American-born citizen, even if you're Jewish, why do you feel like you have to support the modern day state of Israel? Is it like Ben Shapiro, where it's like the only reason I support America is because we support Israel? Like, that's fucking insane. Support the country you hold the passport to, or go to the one you support, because it's fucking bullshit if people in America are putting their Israeli interests over American interests, because that's what leads to this. That's what leads to the Epstein files getting buried and kids getting raped and no justice served. Virginia Giuffre said she would not kill herself countless times, and then she got hit by a bus, and then when she was recovering said, I still won't kill myself, and then she killed herself 2 weeks later. And you guys want to believe that shit? Any fucking person who believes that she killed herself is retarded, because she did not kill herself. She was killed by the machine that funded Jeffrey Epstein, that is protecting Jeffrey Epstein. And it is so fucking clear. And when the full Epstein files are released, because today, Thomas Massie, after the government reopened, was able to get the 218th vote to get the Epstein files released, the final vote he needed. Now, after Thanksgiving break with Congress, they will be voting on the release of the Epstein files. And it doesn't mean we're 100% going to get them. What it does mean, though, for a fact, is that we will know which politicians are protecting pedophiles and which politicians are protecting the people, the Americans, the children who got fucking raped. It is a problem if we have politicians protecting pedophiles, and every single one of you scumbags that protects a pedophile, that votes against the release of the Epstein files, just know you will never get reelected. You will never have any credibility left. We will do everything we can to wage media wars against you, finance wars against you with advertisements, letting the people know how you fucked them over, how you supported a pedophile over them, over transparency. Because that's what's happening right now. There are so many people in the government who are like, Donald Trump doesn't want us to vote on these. He wants us to vote no, so we're going to vote no. Fuck you. If you put your loyalty to one man over the loyalty of America, you do not deserve a seat in the American government. It is that fucking simple. And that should not be a controversial statement. Donald Trump literally called multiple people within Congress and was like, hey, he called two women specifically, and he was like, hey, can you retract your yes votes and do no votes? So that way Thomas Massie can't get this vote pushed. The president is calling people in Congress to literally say, hey guys, don't allow the release of the Epstein files. Why would he do that unless he was guilty? Innocent people do not act that way. If I was innocent in these crimes and I'm sitting in Donald Trump's seat, I would want them to be released because I could prove everybody wrong. But if you are guilty, if you have told hundreds of FBI agents to comb through thousands of files and remove any file with your name in it, you are most likely guilty. If you were friends with the guy, you are most likely guilty. And it's like, there are people in his administration who are close to the guy or were close to the guy. Howard Lutnick literally was next door neighbors and had been to this guy's house. In an interview, he claimed, he's like, oh, I went over there once, I saw a massage table and never went back again. It's like, you knew about the crimes and you did nothing about it. How do people not realize that that is just as bad? If you knew about the kids getting raped and you didn't prevent it, you didn't attempt to prevent it, you were guilty. You are a co-conspirator at that point. You were no fucking better than someone who witnessed a murder and didn't report it. It is sickening to my stomach that I live in a country where the government is willing to let kids get raped for political blackmail and not do shit about it. It is sickening. This really fucking pisses me off. It really does. It infuriates me that Donald Trump turned out like this, that Donald Trump sold us out, sold us a bill of lies. Donald Trump is not America first. MAGA is dead. The real America first movement lies with Nick Fuentes and people like him. It is truly the only future and hope we have for this nation right now. And I'm not trying to be black-pilled. I'm trying to say that there is still hope. We just cannot keep writing blank checks of support to a guy who does not give a shit about you or support you. If you're a white Christian man in this nation, a young white Christian man in this nation, just know Donald Trump does not have your back. If Donald Trump had your back, he wouldn't be saying 50-year mortgages so you can buy houses. Like, what the fuck is that? He would be saying asset managers, you can't buy homes anymore. Foreign nationals, you can't buy homes anymore. 50 million illegals, let's get them the fuck out tomorrow. That's what he would be saying if he gave a shit about you. But instead, no, he's like, you know what? We're going to give you a 50-year mortgage so you don't get equity until like 25, 30 years. We're going to give you a 15-year car loan so you're still paying it off 8 years after your car goes to shit. Like, that's what we're dealing with. He is not helping us in any way. I want to know from your guys' perspective, because my audience's perspective is very important to me, and I want to be able to stay in touch with the real people in America who speak about these problems. How has your life benefited or gotten worse from Donald Trump? That is what I want people to comment today. If you're still listening to this point in the show, let me know in the comments, how has your life gotten better or how has your life gotten worse since Donald Trump has gotten into office? Because my life has not gotten any better. I have seen the interest rates on student loans get fucked. They even started the repayment. And it's like, I understand it a bit, but at a point you have to like look at this completely objectively and say, okay, they bailed out the banks, they bailed out the airlines, they bailed out the PPP loans, which were primarily fucking scams. It's not to say all of them were, but we know how many scams there were in the PPP loans. But no, the student loans are way too fucking much. We can give billions of dollars a year in foreign aid, but no, the student loans are too much. Fuck you. Fuck you, Donald Trump. AI revolution, my ass. Right now, AI is replacing us. It's fucking insane. The college degrees we went into debt for are about to become worthless. Most of them already are, but the ones that are still worth something are about to become worthless. We're seeing that in real time. We're seeing AI start to actually replace Americans in the workplace. Amazon just fired 20,000 people over it. Paramount just fired 3,000 people over it. We're seeing news companies fire people. Instead of their editors, they now have ChatGPT. Like, what the fuck is going on? Elon's building robots to replace service workers. We're seeing the AI revolution systematically fuck us. And what they're going to say is universal basic income. You're going to take it. You're going to like it. You're going to accept it. You have no other choice. What they're going to say is you have to buy a 50-year mortgage or you're not going to own a home. That's your only choice. You have to take a 15-year car loan out or else you're not going to be able to afford a car because right now wages are shit and we can't afford to deport the illegal immigrants because we need them for the hotels and the farms and we need them for this labor because the companies have gotten so fucking used to their profit margins that they won't be able to succeed without them. It's fucking bullshit. Donald Trump has sold out the regular American people, all the real Americans, for the corporations, for the billionaires, for the politicians, for foreign nations. And that's what's happening. That's the problem. Donald Trump is a colossal failure. The MAGA movement is dead. America first is all we have left. They're not even going to release the jobs report for October because it's so fucking bad. That's how bad it is right now. They're just not releasing it. They're refusing to. They said that at the press briefing today. I need some fucking more water. Literally, my throat is... I'm yelling as I'm doing this. My throat is going... Oh, and believe it or not, I do this show without any coffee. I don't drink coffee. I'm just jacked up on orange juice, adrenaline, and patriotism right now, bitch. I am fucking so pissed off about this. But we have to channel that anger into something better. We have to channel that anger into, what's the best way to put this? We have to channel that anger into courage. We need to be courageous. We need to speak our minds even though people aren't going to like it. People in the government are not going to like when we speak out against them. Fuck them. People some we're related to or some in our families or our friends or whatever are not going to like that we speak out against Donald Trump. Fuck them. And I'm not saying just wreck your relationships with them, but I am saying speak your mind freely. Be an American. Use your voice. Use your right to speak, your right to free speech, and your right to express dissatisfaction for the government systematically fucking you over, fucking me over, fucking your family and friends over. Anyone who was born in this nation is getting fucked over right now. It's a huge problem. They want to tell us that, oh, we can't afford to do this for you guys. We can't afford to do this for you guys. But no, we could still send $30 billion to Israel over the last 3 years. No fucking problem. We could send millions more to Ukraine. No fucking issues. We can even give Ukraine missiles and Israel weapons and Egypt money and subsidies in Canada and Mexico and South America and Africa. But no, you're born in America? Fuck you. Fuck you. I hope you starve. I hope you eat shit today. That's what I'm hearing every fucking day out of this administration. Every day this administration fails to provide for the American people. And I'm not even saying like they need to give us money. I'm saying they need to just give us something to look forward to. Give Americans something. Because when you give people no hope, they get brutal. They form together and they form and revolt. And I pray that never happens. I seriously pray almost every day that I am not alive for the next civil war in this country, that I am not alive for the next revolution in this country. Will I be ready if it happens? You bet your fucking ass. But I pray it does not happen because I don't want to see millions of Americans, millions of God's children die when we didn't have to, when we should have just had a government that upheld the values that our founders intended, because our founders would have revolted against this. Our founders would be shitting on people like Trump for what he's doing now. They would have celebrated Trump in 2016 and they would have been shitting on him right now because Donald Trump is shitting on us. He's pissing on us and telling us it's rain. We're being lied to. We're being raped, robbed, and looted in our own fucking countries, and they're telling us we just have to accept it. It's insane. They're raping us and they're like, no, it's not rape. It's consensual. No, fuck you. This is rape. This is worse than rape. Because it doesn't fucking end. This will go on for another 3 years. This is terrible what is happening right now. We have a country that is doing everything it can to bury the American people, bury American freedom, and support foreigners over Americans. Yeah, Americans, you're not good enough. Chinese students, they're great though. Let's bring them in, according to Trump and Lutnick. Fuck that. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of the new wars. I'm sick of the regime changes. I'm sick of constantly hearing, oh, we have to go defend Israel for this. We have to set up a military base in the Middle East for this. Like, what the fuck is that about? I don't want a single soldier in the Middle East for the rest of my lifetime. I'm done being involved in the Middle East. Saddam Hussein, we went to go and take weapons of mass destruction from him under Bibi Netanyahu's and Wolfowitz's instructions. And where the fuck did it get us? Tens of thousands of Americans dead, no weapons of mass destruction. Every Muslim country hates us. We funded every proxy and terror group that exists today that we're currently still fighting. ISIS, we created it. Hezbollah, they funded it. Fucking Hamas, Israel funded them. The Taliban, we gave them money and weapons. It's so fucking sad seeing what's going on. It's so sad seeing the American people struggle while the government does nothing about it. While the government sits in the fucking White House and in DC and acts like everything's all perfect. No, it's not. Nothing is fucking perfect in this nation. It is far from perfect. We are being fucked. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I had planned to talk about today. I know I went over Charlie Kirk, I went over the deportations, I went over the wars, I went over Epstein, the H-1Bs, the mortgages, the 15-year car loans, student loans, credit card debt. And it's like, another big thing is like Donald Trump was like, we're going to end the woke agenda. And they've done a decent job at some parts of it. I'll give him, again, a little bit of props here at the end. He's done like a decent job at removing some of it, but he's failing colossally to actually to actually stop it as a whole, to actually like get into these leftist states and push real America first policies. You literally have states that are saying like, no, we're going to harbor illegal immigrants. We're going to become sanctuary cities for this woke bullshit. Donald Trump, it is time to send in the National Guard to every big city. I don't give a shit what the courts are saying. I'm going to be honest. It is time for you, like they have the No Kings protest. It's time for you to act a little bit like a fucking king. They want to call you a king? Let's see the fucking king. Send in the National Guard against the judge's orders. I don't give a shit anymore. I am tired of people being stabbed on trains, of white kids being stabbed at track meets. I'm tired of women getting burned on subways and raped on subways. I'm tired of little boys getting raped by illegal immigrants. I am tired of what the fuck is going on in my country, and it is up to you to stop it. You're going to cause people to stand up against it, and you don't want that. I pray that doesn't happen, and we need to do everything we can to prevent that from happening. And that starts with you. It starts with people like you standing up to these woke liberal douchebag judges, to these woke liberal douchebag policies, and actually fucking doing something. Not bringing in more immigrants, not fucking going into new wars, but actually going to war for Americans. Like, are you fucking kidding me? How about fight for us? Don't fight for Israel, fight for us. Fight for the Americans who were born here, the Americans who got raped, robbed, and looted and fucked in this nation, the American kids who got raped and killed by illegal immigrants. What the fuck happened to all that? What the fuck happened to making this country safer? It doesn't seem like any of the massive crime waves in these big cities are stopping. It doesn't seem like you put an end to the black riots. It doesn't seem like you put an end to Antifa. You designated them as a terrorist organization. What the fuck have you done to stop it? They're still terrorizing people. They just assaulted a reporter. They were just acting violently outside of a TPUSA event, and more people got assaulted. But you want to say, no, the country's never been safer. The country's never been doing better economically. Fuck you. You can't lie to us when we're feeling it in real time. We are feeling the struggles, the financial struggles, the safety struggles in real time. And you are telling us that we're all great, that everything's all hunky-dory? Go fuck yourself. You are not America first anymore. MAGA is fucking dead. You killed it, Donald Trump. You and your bullshit-ass administration who cannot stop lying to the American people, pandering to their lobbyists. Like, literally, what's going to happen in 2.5 years when half of Donald Trump's cabinet is running for fucking election in the presidency? Are we going to even have people doing their jobs anymore? And it's not like they're doing a good job now, but what's it going to be like when they're not even doing them? When Marco Rubio is running for election, when JD Vance is running for election, when God knows who the fuck else is running for election? Your administration has been a colossal failure. Pam Bondi lied to us. Kash Patel lied to us. Kristi Noem saying we're bringing in more immigrants than ever. JD Vance, he takes money from Peter Thiel. You lied to us and you might be guilty on the Epstein files. Howard Lutnick says if we don't bring in 600,000 Chinese spies, Americans aren't good enough, so we need to. It is essential for America, according to him. Stephen Miller literally had that freeze on fucking TV. He's like, Donald Trump has plenary power. And then he just went fucking frozen like a board. Okay, use that fucking plenary power. Pull out the unitary executive card like Dick Cheney did and actually do something. If people are going to call you a king, it's time you fucking act like it. It's time you lay down the fucking law. It is time you actually put Americans first. It is time you do something to give us something to look forward to. Because again, you can't take hope away from all Americans and expect them to still write a blank check of support forever. Because it is dying, and it is dying fast. You have 3 years left of this administration, and you are losing your support. Your approval ratings at 41. Your disapproval ratings at 55. You are losing support. I was one of your biggest fucking supporters. I went to bat for you. I defended more than half the fucking things you said. I defended almost everything. I defended your policies, your campaign. I defended even some of the crazy things you said. And still, I refuse to write a blank check of support now because I see the fucking lies in real time, and that's happening all around. There are millions more like me who are waking up to the delusional reality that you're trying to create around us and sell us because it does not exist. Your fucking golden age of America is not real. This is not the golden age. This is This is a critical point in America. A critical point in America where you have the opportunity to fulfill your campaign promises. You have the opportunity to support Americans. And instead of doing that, you chose to say, fuck you to all of us. And what do you expect us to do? Just say thank you? Give me more? Tickle your balls? Scratch your fucking back? No, people are going to say fuck you back. They're going to stand up. They're going to use their voices. You're going to have people like me who are so fucking dissatisfied that like my throat is fucking killing and I'm yelling for an hour fucking straight here because I'm so fucking mad about it. I'm so furious, pissed off that my government does not give a shit about me. I remember I made an episode, one of my first episodes, I don't know which one it was, within the top 20 episodes maybe of my show, like the first 20, I don't know exactly which one, I'd have to go back and try and find it. But I said, for the first time in my life, I have an administration who cares about people like me. What a fucking lie, like what a delusional dumb bitch I was. What a delusional dumb bitch you made me out to be. Again, I'm mad about a lot of things, and one thing I'm really, and again, it's me just being personally mad. I am personally mad that you made me out to be a liar. You made me out to be a fraud in some ways. I was going to bat for you, campaigning for you, telling people to vote for you. I was defending you, supporting you in every fucking way, buying your merch, wearing my MAGA hat out even though people would give me shit for it. Telling people I was a Trump supporter even though I knew people hated it. And you made me look like a bitch. And I have a right to be mad about that. I have a right to be mad that you fucking lied and you made us all look fucking stupid. Everybody who supported you and still does look stupid, but everyone who supported you and doesn't now looked stupid before. And I was one of them. And I have a right to be pissed off about that. Donald Trump, you are a colossal failure. MAGA, dead. America First is the only thing we have left. Nick Fuentes is the future for this country. And if you aren't seeing it yet, you guys have to wake the fuck up to it. Like Donald Trump is literally letting foreign nations fund primaries against pro-America candidates. Thomas Massie, Marjorie Taylor Greene, two of the most pro-America people in our government, if not some of the only ones, who are literally saying, we're going to put Americans first. I don't give a shit about the lobbying money. I don't give a shit about the donors. I definitely don't give a shit about Israel and what they want. You are letting Israel, Miriam Adelson and Israel, dump millions of dollars into primaries against them. You are allowing a foreign nation to primary people who are America first. You are selling us out. Again, fuck you, Donald Trump. Fuck this administration. We have a right to be frustrated, and you should be frustrated. If you are not frustrated, wake the fuck up, because you're getting raped. That's going to be the entire rant and the entire show for the day. Hope you guys have enjoyed the rant and show. My voice is going to be fucked tomorrow. I wanted to touch a little bit about on what the government was doing, with reopening and how I wanted to give a personal touch to this hemp bill. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow, or how long are we into the show? Hour 12. Can I do it now? Let's talk about it now for a second. I'll do it quickly though. So, if you're newer to the show, you might not know. If you've been watching for a while, you do know. But before I was trying to work in this space, the political space, I was a CEO of a company, and that company was in the hemp THC industry. In 2018, Donald Trump created a loophole that allowed hemp THC to be sold. It was regulated, but there was massive gaping loopholes. And when I say regulated, we'll get into all that in a little bit, but there was massive gaping loopholes that allowed pretty much the same products sold at cannabis stores to be sold out of smoke shops, on websites, federally throughout the country. Stuff like Delta 8, Delta 9 THC, THCA, all these things. And my opinion on this subject has shifted a lot over time. A lot of people disagree with me, a lot of people agree with me. But I was somebody who was fully pro marijuana legalization, and the hemp THC legalization, I thought it was very beneficial. But I've shifted my stance a lot, and a big part of that is me not using the product. I used to be someone who was addicted to marijuana. I was addicted to THC. There are even previous episodes of my show you could see earlier on in the show, like in the first 50 episodes or so, where I was literally high on my product on the show. And it's not like blatantly obvious, but like you could see it. It's noticeable. You could see my eyes a little squinty. You could see me talking a little bit slower, although I did try and mask it. But it was a problem. And it is something that they do not advertise in that industry, is how addictive THC is, specifically to the young males. It's addictive to anybody who could use it. Anybody can get addicted to it, but young males specifically get addicted to it a lot faster, especially young males in this male loneliness epidemic that we're facing, especially in like a post-COVID world where social realities aren't the same as they used to be. You know, you don't have people hanging out like you used to. You don't have big friends. Like, I'm not saying they don't exist, but rarely compared to what they used to be. And it is a massive problem. And that's not the only problem. A big part of the industry that I had a problem with was, again, they said it was very regulated. And to a point, like, there were laws to try and regulate it. But the problem was they didn't have the money to enforce those laws. So you would have companies, and I knew these companies, I've seen it with my own eyes, who would go years without an inspection from the Department of Agriculture, who would fake all their lab tests. You know, they would edit them using ChatGPT or just using Photoshop and make fake lab tests. The industry is full of liars, scammers, douchebags. It's all fakes. And like, there's very few companies who are actually selling real, authentic, American-made products, and they're not altering them in any way. Like, there's a lot of people who would sell really fucked up things, and they were selling it without regard for health consequences to people, or anything that would happen, or their legal consequences. Like, they would sell like legit cannabis and call it hemp, and like that itself is so corrupt. So in the bill to reopen the government, at the last second, they slipped in something to close the loophole in the 2018 Farm Bill. And I completely support it. I want to keep CBD legal. I want to keep hemp available for certain forms. Like, you could build buildings with hemp. You can make clothing with hemp. You could do all sorts of things with hemp. But I want to remove the hemp THC loophole, and this comes from somebody who was in the industry for 4.5 years. Not only in the industry, I ran a company. I employed multiple people throughout the state of Florida. I ran a company that made hundreds of thousands of dollars over time, and we cannot have that industry continue to go on. It is so fucking corrupt. Getting out of the industry was one of the best decisions I ever made. It is one of the smartest things I ever did. Getting clean from THC as a whole and never using it again is one of the smartest decisions I ever made as well. We cannot have that continue. It is so bad to have your cities smell like weed. It is so bad to have a loophole that goes against the federal law. It is so bad to have an industry that is so fucking unregulated and unchecked that you have some of the dirtiest players in the country in this. I mean, think about your average smoke shop owner. Are they like a notoriously honest person? Are they a person you would trust with your life, with your health? No, most likely not. I'm not saying there's not exceptions to the rule. I've met some great people in the industry over the years. I have a lot of friends in the industry. But at the same time, we have to be able to acknowledge that the majority of it is bad practices. It is bad for your health in the long term. It is bad for society as a whole. And a lot of people like to bring up oh, what about drinking versus smoking and all that? Drinking is not healthier for you than smoking weed. We can all admit that. The science shows that. But what is better is the fact that people tend to drink in groups at bars. And it's not saying there's not exceptions to the rule. There are alcoholics who drink at home alone. People tend to smoke home alone. People stoners tend to smoke all day, every day, and they tend to do it in their homes alone. They're not always hanging out with people. And again, there's exceptions to the rule. There's people who smoke in circles occasionally or with friends. But for social benefits, alcohol is way better. For health benefits, weed, you can make an argument to be better. And really, it's not like you can make an argument for health benefits besides very few circumstances, which would be like cancer treatments, and very certain illnesses. And again, I'm not fully against the medical marijuana being legalized on a federal level and being instituted into every state. But what I would want is them to close the loopholes that allow anyone to fucking get it. Like, anxiety should not be a reason to go and get a medical marijuana card. Back pain should not be a reason. Like, When I first got to Florida, I remember I got a medical marijuana card. When I walked into the doctor's office, literally, it was a lady in jeans, a like button-up t-shirt with half the buttons undone, pink hair, not a doctor at all, just a fucking woman sitting in there. And then I get in there, and then she goes, "Oh, what's your name?" I tell her. She goes, "Do you have back pain? Do you have anxiety?" And then I said, "Yes." And then she immediately like puts her hands up like, "Don't say any more. The more you say, the worse it can get for you." They coach you on what to do to get the fucking card. It's a scam. It's literally something that anyone can abuse, and we cannot have that anymore. We can't have people abusing systems like that. It doesn't benefit American society. And I know that doesn't have to do with the entire rant I did about Donald Trump earlier, but while we were talking about the government being reopened, I figured I would just talk about this today instead of tomorrow. But yeah, again, I am for medical marijuana because I've seen it help people. I've seen it help cancer patients with their appetite. I've seen it help people with certain illnesses with their problems. But at the same time, I have also seen a ton of people I'm friends with, me included, get addicted to the product after being told our entire lives that, yes, it's not great for you, but it's not addictive either. It is very addictive. And them telling you that it's not is a problem. But that's going to be the entire show for the day. I tried to keep it quick. That was like 5-6 minutes of me ranting about that. But yeah, I wanted to make it clear that I do kind of support the hemp bill being banned, or at least the hemp THC part of it being banned, because it is so fucking corrupt. And it is, anyone who wants to challenge me on that in the comments, feel free. I'll engage in a good faith debate. All I ask is that you don't be like, "Dude, fuck you. You don't like weed, man." Like, shut up. I don't need to hear all that bullshit. But if you can come up with a well-structured argument on why I'm wrong, I'll hear you out and I'll debate you on it. I just don't think it's good for society. After I used it for years on end, being high every day, thinking that I was one of the people who would say no, it's better for me. I have crazy ADHD, and I would say in the past I would be one of the people who would say no, it helps me with my ADHD. No, it hurt me in the long term. It hurt my work drive. It hurt my creative ethic. And it's not to say people can't work on it. People can't do these things. I was one of those people who still managed a company, ran a company while smoking weed every day and was able to make money. But at the same time, I probably would have been a million times more successful in the industry, and I actually would have walked out with a real profit instead of next to nothing if I wasn't using not only my product, but just the product in general. Using THC products is not good for your motivation. It's not good for your work ethic. It's not good for your drive. It's not good for your lungs. It's rarely healthy for you, except for the very few circumstances that I laid out. And it's not even it's healthy for them in those things. It's it just helps them a little bit. It helps them eat. It helps them recover from a little bit of pain instead of using oxy. That I can support. It's just really fucked up what's been going on. I am going to wrap this show up, though. We're going to go over to the comments because I literally feel my voice fucking fading. My throat's starting to hurt. I'm going to see if there's anything to report on that's in the news right now. I have so many, I'm debating with these people about this hemp bullshit on X right now, and so many people are retarded about it. So many people are so fucking dumb. I'm looking if there's anything else in the news to report on before I go on to the comments. It's literally all retards and chills. Some of these people are so dumb. I'm going to respond to them. I was about to start responding to them now. I'll respond to them later. It's fucking insane. Some of these people are so fucking stupid. It's actually crazy. They come up with the worst possible arguments. It's dude, man, you're against weed, man? Shut up, you fucking idiot. Let's see. Let's load our comments, though. Let's get those going. What the fuck's going on? It says, page can't load. Okay, we're going to try it again. Okay, give me a second. We're going to try a different browser because Chrome is not working. If it doesn't work on here, I'll read them off my phone. I'm not going to just not read them. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show so far, though. Please remember to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. Hope you guys are enjoying the show so far, though. And rate the show 5 stars on Spotify if you are listening on Spotify. Very appreciated. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, because we'll respond to the comments at the end of each show. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this. Okay, there it goes. Let's see if it finally loads now. Something's going on. Okay, we're going to switch over to the phone. Let's see. I won't be able to have them play out from my phone, but I'll be able to at least respond to them, because I want to respond to all the comments and viewers. Okay, first comment goes, Kash Patel looks like a roach on meth, and of course his girl is a alleged spy. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Again, like, if you're a 4 and you're dating like an 8 or a 9, like, dude, you're getting fucked in some way. Someone goes, sup, love the episode, nothing worse than a female boss. Yeah, true. Until you experience it, you won't know how bad it really is. Keep these bitches where they belong in the house, taking care of the kids, and speak freely, my bro. Real men appreciate it. A dude who wants his chick's paycheck is a pussy. Yeah, 100%. Like, if you're giving a shit about what your girlfriend's making, you're just a pussy. It's like, be the man of the relationship, be the man of the house. Fucking crazy. Appreciate your comment, appreciate you tuning in. Someone goes, I would have said that's bullshit to the guy eating the dung. Yeah, I mean, if a guy, like, the guy was literally like, it cures cancer when you eat cow shit. It's like, dude. The cow shit cures cancer now? We missed it? Scientists have missed it this whole time, guys. It's just cow shit. Breaking news, cow shit cures cancer according to Indians. Like, fucking insane. Appreciate your comment. It's pretty funny. Someone goes, just curious, brother. Do you agree with Fuentes on everything he says? Are there any of his opinions you disagree with? No wrong answer here. I mean, again, I've only been watching him for 6 months, but I've agreed with every single thing I've heard in the last 6 months. I'll say that. Like, I have been like, I'm a member of the archive. I have been watching old episodes to try and learn, watch all the stuff he's ever done. It's a lot of, he's that over like 1,500 episodes, so it's a lot. But everything I've seen, I agree with. And it's again, like, some people are going to be like, oh, but like you said this, like, people make fucking jokes. I literally one time made a joke that Bibi Netanyahu was raping me. So it's like, we can make fucking jokes and, move the fuck on in the world. I appreciate your comment. I'm curious, what do you think? Do you agree with everything? For the most part, like I said, everything I've seen, I do. Not even for the most part, absolutely. Everything I've seen, I do agree with. Someone goes, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. There we go. Someone goes, Brett Cooper is hot sauce. Yeah, Brett Cooper. I made that joke the other day. It wasn't good. I don't know why I tried it again. Brett Cooper is the shit, though. Brett Cooper Groiper is awesome. We got to support her. She's based now. Maybe she's always been based and we just didn't realize it. Sweetheart. Brett Cooper, love you, baby. Love you, baby. We're here for you. We're here for you. I gotta read this in an Indian voice, this next comment. Someone goes, sir, do not release the poop videos. Sir, do not release the poop video. Yeah, that's what I imagine the Indians were like in India. Do not release the poop documentary. That's what I imagine it was like over there. I appreciate your comment. That's hilarious. Someone goes, the US is... Oh, fuck me. Someone goes, the UK is what the USA would look like down the river from authoritarianism. I look to the USA for the steps we have taken. I'm guessing you're just going to say should have taken to protect our liberty a long time ago. Yeah, the UK is fucked. I mean, you guys don't have free speech. People are getting raped every day and they're doing nothing about it. It's fucking crazy. Someone goes, listening to the Daily James P. Let's go. Based. Some guy put a bunch of Yiddish bullshit and I tried to translate. It didn't translate. So I'm just going to guess that he's saying that Epstein was Mossad in Yiddish. I'm guessing he's just conceding to what I said. Hopefully. And then someone, Fidel, this guy. Fidel, we're talking to you now. Fidel, he goes, I was wondering if you can do a day without speaking about Israel. Then I realized that no one will listen to you if you don't, because people like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, you spelled her name wrong, idiot, and Nick Fuentes, because that's what your followers like. Dude, I have plenty of episodes about Israel. I just talk about daily news, and if Israel's involved in the daily news, I'm not going to shy away from it because a retard like you wants me to. And then he goes, okay, I just think it comes from an ignorant place to say that if America breaks off from all its allies, then we will be better, when from an outside view, you realize we get more money from other countries investing in our country due to the fact that they're our allies, so they have to. If America breaks off from everywhere else, who said everyone will invest in America? So I think it's very ignorant of the younger generation to say, let's be America first and only America. By the way, I'm 21. So why are you saying the younger generation if you're part of the younger generation? Second, like, I'm curious, do you live in fucking America? You haven't said. Do you live in America? I'm very curious. Because, like, America could still... I'm not saying we should break every trade alliance we have. Like, we cannot support countries militarily and still have good trade deals. Like, that's not... They're not completely tied together, and that's fucking ridiculous to say that they are. We're literally being raped, robbed, and looted by tons of foreign nations. We had unfair trade agreements for a very long time. We need to break the... these fake contracts we have with these countries. Like, Israel's not even an ally on paper. Do you realize that? That on paper, Israel has no formal documents that they have signed or no treaties they've signed with us to say that they're actually our ally. It's just we're in a weird, fucked up, unfair trade agreement. We could still have trade agreements with countries and decent ones that actually benefit America without being allies with countries, without controlling Iranian airspace for Israel, without supporting all these countries militarily. Like, it does not benefit America to have more Americans die for other countries. It does not benefit America to pour more money into the military complex for other countries. It does not benefit America to... It does not benefit young Americans specifically for us to be sending money overseas in any way when we're in debt. I just fail to see how it does. Let's see. I think that was our last Spotify comment. Let me see. Yeah, it seems like that was the last Spotify comment. I don't think we had any on YouTube, so we're probably just going to end the show there. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. It's been a fun show. It's been a passionate show. Donald Trump has sold us out. But I want to remind everyone to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. We'll respond to comments at the end of tomorrow's show. Rate the show 5 stars on Spotify if you enjoy. Follow on Spotify. We post every single day. Today's episode will actually be on time. Should have it up by 7 p.m. by the time we try and upload. But I thank you guys for tuning in. America First is inevitable. We will get true America First policies. I'm going to pray for all my viewers. I'm going to pray for America, and we should all do the same. Hope you guys have a great evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow on Thursday. Thank you.